Hello again, welcome back. If you are new around here, then hi, nice to meet you. If you are returning, then thank you very much. I have to say a really big thank you to people who have been watching these videos. Actually, I've been getting really good feedback on these little videos and I really appreciate it because they take a little slight more extra work than normal. I like to do a little bit of research on them, etc. But I do really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So this is going to be another installment of skincare. I called it Skincare 101. I don't know if that's right, but I'm calling it Skincare Saturday or Sunday, whichever one it may be, because I'm trying to get them up on a Saturday or Sunday, depending on the day that I am less busy or I have time to do it. Now that you've maybe just joined and never known me before, you'll be thinking, she's not making me want to hit that subscribe button. But we like to be honest around here, and I am just a mere mortal, mere woman who loves skincare, not an expert, just an enthusiast, and I get these up whenever I can. That is the truth of it. This one is going to be all about antioxidants. Antioxidants, depends on the way you say it, I don't know. This was one that actually I had to do a little bit more bookwork and revision than any of the other ones because it's probably something that I have the least knowledge about. It's the one that I've least kind of ventured into and forayed into antioxidants and have used very little antioxidants in the range of something that isn't a vitamin C. We will get into that, don't worry. So this video is going to be all about antioxidants, what they do, what they are, what we need them for, and I am going to talk a little bit about some of the antioxidants that are available from certain brands, mainly The Ordinary, because I did explain, I don't know if anybody's seen in my comment section in one of my other videos, I'm kind of just working down The Ordinary's list of ingredients purely because, or ingredients, components, how do you put it, products. It gave me a bit of a plan. It gave me somewhere to start. It doesn't mean to say that's the only things I'm going to talk about or I'm only going to speak about The Ordinary, but it gave me a plan to try and make this series. So this is why we're starting with antioxidants and we'll see where we go from there. But if you've liked the sound of that and you've been enjoying the videos, give me a little thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment below, do all that shit, and then keep watching. Do you know, it is actually super dreich now. I think I said this in another video that it was dead sunny, we were loving in life, we were getting all the sunshine, wearing all the SPF, and then all of a sudden Scotland decided it was winter again. So it's actually not cold, to be fair. Okay, so antioxidants. What do they do? What do we need them for? How do we get them? What is the chat? Why are they so big in skincare? Why does everybody want to give you them in skincare? Okay, so I think it's probably better that I start off, this is gonna get a little scientific-y. I will try my best to explain it, not only because I am not an expert, I am not working within the area of science, but also because I don't want to say anything and it might be incorrect. So please give me the benefit of the doubt. If there's anything I'm saying down below or anything I'm saying in this video, let me know down below and I will correct it as and when. I'm happy to learn. Basically, I think it's probably better to start off explaining what oxygen does in the body or what can happen with oxygen in the body and why we then need antioxidants to counteract that. So oxygen does a lot in our body. It's in the air around us and we need oxygen to stay alive. It does many things, but we need these things to happen in our body for things like our respiratory system to work. We need it for our metabolism to work. We need it for like metabolic functions to happen, our kidneys to excrete properly. We need it so that our heart beats. It's really obvious stuff, but the basis of like cells working, you need to have oxygen. And oxygen then can be very reactive in the body. We need things to be oxidized because almost like carbohydrates and things need to be broken down, and the oxidization of certain items cause these chemical reactions and cycles to occur to allow our body to do these things. That includes such things as just our skin remaining healthy. So it is important that we have these things in our body. But as I've just said, oxygen can be a very reactive atom in the body. Now, we're gonna see some straight up Scientology is a religion, not Scientology, just basic science. some again primary school science happening right here. But I'm going to show you an apple, which, as you will see, I will take a bite out of. And see this little video right here? We're just gonna put that up in the corner there. Just leave it there, right? We all know what happens to the apple, don't we? I would like to hope we do. So, you will see the oxidization of this apple occurring as I talk through this video. We've all heard of oxidization, mainly in the beauty and kind of makeup industry, and foundations that oxidize, meaning they go that lovely colour of kind of orange on your skin when you didn't want them to be that colour. So you bought them in the shop, you put it on the back of your hand and you thought, oh, that's a good match, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And then you put it on your face the first time, you go outside and boom, you're like an Oompa Loompa. It's kind of similar, although that reaction isn't as detrimental as the oxidization that I am talking about. What is happening to the apple up in the corner here? It's probably not that far on yet, but you know what I mean. What is happening is called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm going to write it here just so you can see it in plain English, because vocabulary isn't a problem for me. Pronunciation seems to be a big one. But basically, oxidative stress is the reason that that apple up there is going to change colour. Shock horror, I have let the cat out the bag. So why does oxygen cause this damage? Now again, we're going to try and be scientific about this, and I'm really hoping I get this one right, I'm sorry. But does anybody remember what atoms are and how they are made up? So we have atoms, and we will have oxygen atoms in the body, and when they are in the body, basically what happens is you get an atom that has a nucleus that has protons and neutrons in the nucleus, and outside in the kind of atmosphere, is that the right word? Orbit, will we go with that one? Within the orbit of the nucleus, we have electrons. Stable atoms have equal numbers of electrons. So if, and again, these numbers aren't scientifically correct, I'm just saying numbers because I would like people to understand. So let's say there's a little oxygen atom right here. It's got a proton and neutrons in its nucleus, and round about the outside it has 6 electrons. Electrons like to be in pairs. They like to be chums, like the lobster, Phoebe from Friends. They like to be friends. And basically, if you have 6 atoms circulating this nucleus, then each of them has a pal, because we have 2, I was looking at the camera there, 2, 4, 6. Each of them has a pal. Excellent. Now when oxygen atoms are in the body, the electrons might fly off and want to go and do things. They break down in the body, making the atoms unstable. Because if you have 5 atoms instead of 6, this guy no longer has a pal. This now means that you have created a reactive oxygen species. These are more commonly known to you or I as free radicals. Am I speaking your lingo now? I'm sure we've all heard about free radicals in beauty and makeup and within the industry of skincare. I'm sure you've all heard of them. Now, what is it that free radicals do? So these little atoms that are floating about, the oxygen atoms that are now unstable, going about here, are free radicals. And the risk of too many of these being in the body is that they can, and I'm not saying absolutely for definite, they can actually lead to disease. Not only skin cancer, which is probably the most common one, and I have spoke about that in my video all about sunscreen, but there have also been studies showing that it can have a link towards things like Alzheimer's, many other cancers, and the aging process as well. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say you can get antioxidants from the food you're eating, and a good diet is your main source of getting antioxidants. Secondly, I'm going to say the reason I would want to do that is because I would like to think I can avoid myself getting said diseases. But I am not going to sit here and say if you have too many free radicals, you're definitely going to end up with Alzheimer's. If you have too many free radicals, you're definitely going to end up with skin cancer. I am not saying that, but numerous studies have shown that free radicals in the skin that can be caused by UVA and UVB light coming from the sun can cause skin cancer. There are very close correlations there. The evidence is out there, and please go and find it for yourself. Free radicals can also be linked to things like pollution Even things like cigarette smoke, nitrogen in the cigarette smoke can show that it would cause free radicals in the body. So I'm not saying because you are outside breathing the air and oxygen, you're going to end up with more free radicals. What I'm saying is that the oxygen atoms then in the body, once they are in there for whichever reason on how they got there, may become free radicals, and things like UVA and UVB are more inclined to cause that to happen. Now, another quick thing I just want to throw in here for a millisecond is you will see antioxidants plastered over everything nowadays, not just your skincare and your beauty, but also things like, you know, Ribena, fruit juice, all these things, because people are almost using the term antioxidant as a marketing tool. I am not saying whether that is right or that is wrong, but what I will say is that, for instance, vitamin C is probably one of the most widely known antioxidants. Vitamin C is usually marketed as an orange type of thing because we know we get vitamin C from oranges. So if you look at your carton of Tropicana or whatever it is you drink, I don't know, freshly squeezed orange juice, they are more than likely now to say something about antioxidants on it, but also like rich in antioxidants. But also I want people to remember that if you eat an orange, that is one of your 5 a day, that is probably going to be more than enough vitamin C for your body. That is completely understandable. Not having enough vitamin C in your body can lead to things like scurvy, which sailors had years and years ago because they didn't have any fruit and veg on long haul shipping. Like, you know, they were taking weeks and weeks on end, months to get from, let's just say, Britain to Australia. They were at sea for ages, there was no fresh fruit and veg, and they got things like scurvy. If you are eating an orange every day or every second day or even once a week, you are probably still getting enough vitamin C. I would just like to put that out there, because I also think that, you know, if you pour yourself a glass of orange juice, the amount of oranges you would have to squeeze to get maybe a 250ml glass of orange juice are going to be way more than you would sit and physically eat. I could eat one orange and be like, oh, that's enough for me. I don't need 2 oranges. They're quite big, you know? But could easily sit and drink 2 glasses of orange juice, which then means you probably have quite a lot of sugar. Natural sugar albeit, but quite a lot of sugar in it. So the reason I'm saying this, just a little sidebar here, is it's marketing. Putting antioxidants on things, again, is marketing. There's probably antioxidants in a lot of good fresh fruit and veg, and as long as you're eating a balanced, healthy diet, you are probably getting enough antioxidants. In the same vein, I am not going to sit here and say skincare antioxidants, it's complete piffle, it's complete nonsense, like why do you even market that? It's nonsense, because I use vitamin C. I still eat oranges, but I use vitamin C in my skincare. I would use antioxidants in my skincare. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're a fucking idiot for just putting this shit in your face, and you know, it's just ridiculous because you actually need dietary intake. Yeah, you do need dietary intake, but if you want to use it in your skincare and you're informed on the matter, then you do that. That's perfectly okay. Just make sure you're having an orange every now and again, as well as using it in your skincare. That's all I would probably say. Okay, so with that little sidebar out of the way, what do antioxidants do? So again, we'll bring out our little hand atom here. We can see our little friend still has nobody. Our electron has nobody here. So antioxidants are there to help put a little break in, a little barrier, put the brakes on to the damage that the free radicals are flying about your body doing, or stop them and get rid of them before they cause any damage. Now that might well mean that in vitamin C releases a little hydrogen ion, like just lets go of something and it joins onto the electron here, and then it stabilizes that free radical. It is no longer a danger. Again, please go and research this. Don't take my absolute word for it. I'm just giving you my best explanation as I can to how this works. So there you are. You've now got a little stable one, and that is what antioxidants are there or claim to do. That they should stop these free radicals being unstable and being a danger. The reason that needs to happen is because when they are like this, they can cause damage to your cells, your proteins, your DNA, and that is then how things like cancers can evolve, because these cells come in and damage cells and they become other things and can grow and all this kind of. It's very, very complicated. I'm not going to get into it, but basically when they're floating about like this, they can be dangerous and cause these diseases and cause the damage. And when skincare particularly, they cause damage to your lipids, which is our lipid barrier we spoke about already on the top layer here. They can cause things like aging in the skin as well, and as I've already said, although that might not be your main priority, I don't want to sit and say, if you've got a wrinkle, you know, oh, you're on the scrap heap, see you later. Wrinkles are there because, you know, they tell a story on our face. We have smile lines, and I have wrinkles here, and we'll probably have ones that get deeper over the years, and that's just a fact of life. But mainly I want to get this free radical under control because I don't want to end up with things like a skin cancer or Alzheimer's, if that is, like I say, there's studies to show that that might be the case. But if in doing that and getting this little free radical under control also helps with pigmentation and fine lines and smoothing of the skin and radiance, then I am all about that too. I am here for that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, as I have already mentioned in this video, vitamin C quite a lot. It's probably one of the most well-known antioxidants in the skincare business at the moment. It is the most widely spoke about one, I would say. And if I am wrong with that, if anybody knows, like, you know, maybe you go like that to me, actually, do you know this? And I go, oh God, duh, like, I didn't even realise that. Please let me know below. I always, like, as I say, happy to learn. But I would say the reason vitamin C is the most widely spoke about is because it's probably the most widely researched. It's the one we know most about. We know that it does release this hydrogen ion to go around and try and stop some of the free radicals, to join them up and make them more stable. We understand the science behind why vitamin C does what it does. So therefore, I understand why it is marketed so hard, because there is a lot of research to show that it does a really good job of getting free radicals under control. And that actually is almost, I don't want to say reversing the damage the sun has done. As I've said before, prevention is always much better than treatment, but it does help aid the production of free radicals, damage to the skin, fine lines, wrinkles, etc. And that is why it will be marketed so hard. I am not going to go into any more about vitamin C because I think to a certain extent I've got across how it works and why it works. But what I am going to do is do a separate video on vitamin C about all the vitamin C's I've used, because as a consumer, I've used a fair amount of them, and I'd like to let you know what ones I think are really good and what ones I think I probably wouldn't pick up again, the reasons why, and for what skin types I think different ones work for. Again, it's very difficult for me because I only know my skin, but from what I've learned and what I've spoke to other people and things like that, maybe I can give you a bit of an overall view of vitamin C's and why I like them and price points and things like that. So that will come in another video. For this video, I am going to be talking about a couple from The Ordinary. Now, I have not used all of these. As I said at the start of this video, this is probably an area that I haven't really ventured into yet. I probably know the least about antioxidants. So I had to go online and pick up a few things and do a bit of research and what have you. And I have to say, I'm still not entirely sure whether or not I want to completely be like, yeah, I need antioxidants other than a vitamin C, because I do use vitamin C quite a lot. But other than that, do I need any others in my skincare routine? So as it stands at the moment, The Ordinary do 3 antioxidants. And again, the reason why I'm speaking about this is because I can't think off the top of my head of lots of other brands that have antioxidants marketed purely in a section of their own. I think they probably have a lot of products with antioxidant properties in them, but I was trying to find like just the pure kind of source of like, does the Inculist even do one, etc. And they probably do, but sometimes I feel like the Inculist products are named so scientifically that I'm like, I don't, is that an antioxidant? I don't know. So we're starting here. They have 3 that I can name at the moment, and to be honest with you, something I just want to say from the get-go about antioxidants is the reason again why I've not ventured into that region is they can be quite difficult to know where to include them in your skincare routine. They can be quite finicky little buggers, to be saying the least. So one of the main things about antioxidants I can say about them is that their pure formula, the one that The Ordinary produces, or the 3 that The Ordinary produce, is that antioxidants don't mix very well with water. So if you do use a product such as the niacinamide, love it, think it's wonderful, but the niacinamide first ingredient on the list is aqua, in brackets, water. So it's a water-based serum, and many skincare products are water-based serums. That then means it's difficult to know how do you slot in your antioxidants alongside these products. Now the reason you shouldn't be using antioxidants along with water is because water actually degrades antioxidants and it impairs the antioxidants stability. So that kind of defeats the purpose of using said antioxidant. So if you are going to use an antioxidant, actually, again, Cassandra Bankinson, a wealth and breadth of knowledge, I would say please go and check it out, but I think that's a little egotistical of me considering she has literally millions of followers, and I'm sitting here with like 200 odd, and yeah, maybe 300 now. But she has a wonderful video all about layering and things like that. It will be much more extensive than the one I made, but still watch mine. And basically she talks about in that how antioxidants, if you're going to use products such as niacinamide or water-based ones or humectants, water spritzes, whatever it is, she suggests that you should probably use your water-based products first. So as I said before in my layering video, you come out of the shower or you come out, you've washed your face, and then you're using your spritz, your hyaluronic acid, whatever water-based serums that you want to use, be it a peptide one, be it niacinamide, be it whatever it is you're using, and leave half an hour to an hour before you use your antioxidant. Now personally, that's where I'm like, that is a big ask, I don't know. Or maybe you could just use your hyaluronic and then leave it half an hour and then put on your antioxidants, just skip the serums that morning. That could be an option as well, just don't use them at the same time. But if you do want to use them at the same time, then you should be leaving that gap that I spoke about in my other video. They also can be quite tricky when working with the likes of acids and vitamin C's, even though vitamin C is an antioxidant. The L-ascorbic acid, for instance. L-ascorbic acid, I've told you before, is powder that you put in your hand, and I would mix it with something like a hyaluronic acid or a humectant or a hydrating serum. So if you're putting something with water to that L-ascorbic acid, then you know there's your issue right there, you're using something with water. But also I think what the ordinary say anyway is to avoid using the antioxidant itself as a mixing medium for the L-ascorbic acid, because that would just be a bit extreme and nobody really needs that. It's quite strong anyway, and they avoid against that. Sorry if the light keeps changing, I'm sitting in front of my window and it's decided to just absolutely start leathering down even though it was a relatively bright day. Scotland. The other thing that antioxidants don't always play with very well is peptides, and again, I really like using a peptide serum in the morning, so I'm just like, oh, where do you put them? So as I say, they have 3 at the moment that I'm going to speak about. The first one is the EUK 134 0.1%. They then have one called Pycnogenol, I think how you say it is Pycnogenol. Pycnogenol. Again, I'm just going to put photos here because I don't know how to say that. But the Pycnogenol, 5%. And they have resveratrol and plus ferulic acid, both at 3%. Now, I'm going to start talking about the 2, first of all, that I'm unsure and have never used, and just a little chat about what you can use them with, what you can't use them with, and why I maybe won't purchase them or won't look into them. That's personal choice. So the EUK 134 is a trademarked item, product, how can I say it? So EUK I actually had to look up because I thought, oh, this is going to be some sort of anagram, isn't it? Anagram's not the right word. What is the word I'm looking for? Told you. Saying, oh yeah, you know, pronunciation is a problem. Vocabulary is probably the problem too. An acronym. I thought it would be an acronym. But it's not actually. EUK, the real name of it, is some scientific, like, I couldn't even pronounce it. Again, if I can find it, I will put it here. And if you want me to try and say that here, then you're onto buttons, quite frankly. But it basically is an antioxidant, and the reason that the ordinary one, the UK 134 0.1%, kind of got a little like woo, everybody was talking about it and it was like publicized and everybody was on about it, was because most antioxidants on the market, especially UK ones, are at 0.05%. That is normally the strength that they go at. So the ordinary one is actually 0.1%, so it's a whole 0.05% stronger. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense here. It's much stronger than most on the market, so that's why it got quite a lot of hype around it. In saying that, you do have to avoid acids with it, you do have to avoid vitamin C with it, including that powder L-ascorbic acid. You do have to avoid peptides, especially the copper peptides, and it's a little unclear whether or not you can use retinols with it. So therefore, I'm a little bit like, where does this fit in my skin routine? Do I need it that much? Am I missing it that much? I think it's said to do a really, really good job as an antioxidant. It's a very strong, very, very effective antioxidant. But again, you have to weigh up, where is this going to fit into your life and your skin routine? And personally, at the moment, I feel a little like, I don't know. So I probably won't pick that up. It would also have to be layered with the likes of anything that has H2O in it, anything with water base. And then I tried to, you know, I'm starting to think like, well, what do you mix it with? Like, can you use moisturizer with it? With, you know, they might have a watery base. Simply just, where do I even start with it? So therefore, I have not looked into it. They do say it can be used AM or PM, but again, I suppose it depends what you're going to be using. If you want to use, you know, all your other stuff at night, maybe you want to start using your peptides at night, alternate your acids with your peptides, with your retinols, do all that stuff on a nightly basis, and then do your only antioxidant in the morning. I don't know, it's not for me, but I'm not saying it's like, if anybody does use it, I would love to know how you use it. I would absolutely love to know how you go about putting it into your routine. With regards to the resveratrol and the ferulic acid, now there's two reasons I wanted to speak about this. So resveratrol in most products is normally 1%, and in this it is 3%. And the ferulic acid in most products is 0.5%, and this it is 3%. So I can see why this is like, wow, really getting a lot of bang for your buck here. You know, like, this is great, but I also think, you know, well, that is a really strong amount. So if you've been used to using something at 0.5% and then to go straight to 3%, it is probably more than likely, and I'm sure again the ordinary advise, that this is mixed with something else to dilute it. And again, here comes the issue of, well, what the flip am I mixing it with? You could probably mix it with that of an oil to make it like diluted, but you're not using water that is going to degrade it or help affect its efficacy. So if you wanted to mix it with something like one of their marula oils or their cold pressed rosehip oil, like something that doesn't have an active ingredient in it, even their plain squalene, then maybe you could mix it with that and dilute it. Then comes into the chat, and this is completely because I'm a novice on it, how much? How much do you dilute it with? How do you know you're using it and it's effective? Like, blows my mind a little bit. Secondly, the other reason why I wanted to talk about it was that Drunk Elephant have a product called the C Firma Day Cream, and it is one C Firma Day Cream, no, serum. It's like their vitamin C serum basically, but it also has ferulic acid in it. So vitamin C and ferulic acid work really nicely together. They help each other, and they kind of make each other's jobs better. They do the jobs more efficiently, basically. So it is good to mix these two together, and the product from Drunk Elephant, I have to say, I really enjoy. Which is a little frustrating because obviously Drunk Elephant is quite expensive, but I have used a whole bottle of it, and at the end of my kind of 4 to 6 weeks of using it, I did think, oh, that was really nice. I really like the radiance of my skin. I really like how my skin is feeling. I enjoyed putting the product on at night, or during the day, whenever it was I was using it. I enjoyed it, but can I justify paying that amount to have it as a regular addition to my skincare? No, probably not. So would I pick this up? Maybe, because I would like to see if it has a if it would be a good dupe for the Drunk Elephant one. I would like to pick it up for that reason. Now this one actually markets to say that it can be mixed effectively with vitamin C, and again I'm wondering if that's because it has that ferulic acid in it, but again says do not mix it with the L-ascorbic powder, which is the vitamin C that I use. So again, then where am I putting this in my skincare routine? I'm not entirely sure. Again, this one not to be mixed with the copper peptides, and you would have to layer your H2O stuff with it. But all in all, it's one that I'm still on the fence about, and I'm not sure I will pick up yet, but for that Drunk Elephant thing, it's kind of making me a bit nosy. But the one I am going to speak about is the Pycnogenol. Pycnogenol? I have no idea. I'm so sorry. Because I did pick this one up. And the reason being because it seems like the one that is the most simple to slot into a skincare routine. So I've picked it up on the basis that I am going to be able to implement this into my skincare routine quite easily. Now, the Pycnogenol is 5%. It is made from pine bark, and it is the most stable out of the three of these. You can use it in the morning or in the evening. I think I'm going to have a little look-see to decide where I'm going to put this. You will still have to layer this with your H2O products. This will still have to be, you know, I put on the hyaluronic or a spritz or niacinamide or whatever, leave it half an hour and then put this on. That will still have to happen. And they do still say that you probably shouldn't mix it with copper peptides, but normal peptides, it's not so bad. It also says that it plays really nicely with the likes of niacinamide, retinols, acids, vitamin C, and moisturizers. So this seems to fit nicely into a skincare routine a little bit easier. So on this, what I will say about this though is it's only a 15ml bottle. It is a small bottle in comparison to the other products from The Ordinary. You can see they're much bigger. So it is quite concentrated. So you could actually mix this with the likes of, if you did have a liquid vitamin C you were enjoying or a vitamin C serum that you were enjoying, not necessarily the powder that I normally use, but I could drop this into the vitamin C and give it more of an antioxidant property. It will enhance the antioxidant properties of the product that I'm putting it into. So I think this will be very interesting, and I will get back to you on how this works. The other reason that I thought this was very, very interesting, and actually thought, well, that's drawn the line under the fact I'm going to pick it up, was the fact that not only does it seek out free radicals to either slow them down or stop them before they cause any damage, it also binds to elastin and collagen in your skin, helping with hydration, and as well as that, it actually helps, as I say, not just vitamin C in a product. So take that out of your mind for a minute. You've got vitamin C, you've had your orange, you've ate your vitamin C that day and it's floating about your body, but it's already been oxidized in the body naturally. The oxidation has already occurred in the body. It will actually recycle that vitamin C and make it effective again. Like that's what it claims. That's what it claims. That seems like some pretty smart science, if you ask me. I think that seems like some really smart science. So that is why I picked this up. That is why I'm very, very interested in it, and I will keep you posted on what I think. I may use it and think, do you know what? It's added absolutely nothing and I probably didn't need to bother. But I'm that kind of nosy bitch. I am, honest to God, skincare enthusiast, skincare addict through and through, and I just kind of needed to pick it up, to be honest with you. But I hope that this little video, although a little, maybe a little scientific-y, sorry, I hope that explains antioxidants to you. I hope you understand why we need them. I hope you understand what they're there for. And like I said, just be careful. Everything is marketing. Everything is marketing. Just because something says antioxidant on it doesn't mean to say you need to start purchasing it. You might already have enough in your body. But if you want to, you have the means to, and you fancy it, then go ahead. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one, which probably will be vitamin C, and see you all next weekend. Bye!